this is Allan Rush, Lindy's better half, and whilst I've eaten a lot of Lindy's shuttle cook meals in the past, I've heard that Allan's a bit of a dab hand himself, and so we figured we'd better give him a chance to prove it. And of course, straight away, Allan said, well, I know you like a couple of things, Roothy. You like seafood and you like Indian food, and I do. And he said, I've got something for you. So now we've put him on the spot, haven't we, mate? I'm sorry about that.
You certainly have, but I think I can do something for you pretty quick, pretty simple, and I think you'll enjoy it. It probably won't be as hot as you like it, but you can always add more to it if you want to.
We'll see, we'll see.
Put my onions in first and get those nicely fried up. And this is a very simple meal. It's only got a very few ingredients. You're basically relying on the seafood and the curry to give you your flavours. I don't have access to a lot of seafood at the moment, but what I've done is I've got some seafood marinara mix. That's going to give Roothy a nice combination of some mussels, some prawns, some calamari in there, and I think there's a bit of salmon in there, as well as some ordinary fish. So we'll get all that going nicely. Now while those onions are clarifying down, I'm just going to get started with my curry mixture. A little bit of water into there. Now this curry mixture, it's an authentic Indian curry. It comes in a packet, great for when you're carrying or camping. Doesn't take up a lot of room, but what you've got is all the ingredients necessary for a curry. In there, they've been pre-fried and then dehydrated. And when it comes out of the packet, that's what we're looking at. It's a magnificent little arrangement. The flavours are just magnificent in there, so I'm going to pop that into there and we can start to melt that down while these onions are clarifying for me. Now in here, I'll break this up nicely so that it turns into a nice liquid and rehydrates it. Get some of that water back into it again. Now you don't need to add pepper or salt or anything to this one at all. All of the flavours are sitting there in that curry. Now as that curry is starting to break up, I'm going to add a cup of coconut milk to it. Help bring out some of those lovely flavours. We'll get that stirring around there, and I'll just slowly bring that one up to the boil. Now these onions are just about ready. Now how simple this is that I can add those onions now directly into that curry. They'll have that nice nutty flavour of being pre-fried. And then I like to add a little bit of baby corn into the whole thing. And some cream corn just to spread those flavours around a little bit more. I must admit this is a bit of my own recipe, a bit of this and a bit of that, and it was all came down to the fact that I was looking in the cupboard one day and thinking, what can I make? Oh look, I've got a bit of corn. So I looked around a little bit further, found a few other things, and lo and behold, we developed this seafood curry, and it's worked very, very well ever since. And that seafood can go into there now. And we'll bring that up very slowly to the boil. Now, I'll just pop the lid on that. Now I have some cauliflower here. I don't like to put the cauliflower until the very last. I don't want to cook that for very long at all, so it'll go on when it's had its 5 minutes of simmering. Now what I'm going to do is just clean this saucepan down and then very quickly get my rice all organised. So I'll just duck that off and get that all cleaned up, ready for my rice. All right, got that saucepan all organised. I have 1 cup of washed rice. Pop that into there. And this is 1.5 cups of water, cold water. Pop that in there with it. Crank on the heat. And what I'm going to do is bring that up to the boil. As soon as that comes to the boil, I'll put the lid on it and give it 1 minute to simmer. And that should be just about enough time for the curry to be ready as well. And we should be ready to go. Pop the lid on while I'm waiting for that to come up to the boil. Okay, the curry is just about right. The rice is ready. I'm going to throw in that cauliflower now. I really only want it to cook in the steamed heat that's left and available. So I'll just pop that cauli into there, settle it down like that. Lid goes back on again, and this can go straight into here. Pop the rice on top. That'll make it easy to serve when we catch up with Roothy a little bit later on. This will only take about 30 minutes to an hour in here. It'll be ready, but I can leave this one for 6-7 hours without any problems at all. The seafood won't toughen. It'll be just the same whether we eat it in half an hour's time or in 6 hours' time.
What have you got there, Allan? Is that a soft version of the...
Mate, I listened to
Shuttle
your
Chef?
advice. I've
Really?
been taking your advice for quite some time now.
Oh, that's
strange.
strange.
As it may seem. And I've actually got that seafood curry I did for you.
Yeah.
And this is, it comes complete in the pack now. And this is the bag that you'd spoken about before.
Yes, yeah, I remember we talked about this.
Yeah, you kept saying to me that we had to have something to be able to carry these things in.
Yep.
Well, there we go. This thing's double insulated, vinyl lines, and I even got to the stage of putting the little breadboard in the bottom so that can support it when you're going to carry your slabs of beer.
That'd just about fit a slab of beer too, wouldn't it?
That'll fit a whole slab of beer for you, mate. But it certainly protects the Shuttle Chef while you're travelling.
Yeah.
And that allows us to not get it knocked around in the back of the four-wheel drive.
Gee, this is a tough job, isn't it, really? Oh, I love it. Good on you, mate. I've been waiting all day for this, you know.
It's our nice, light, fluffy rice. We'll serve you some of that. And you'll find that seafood will be delightfully tender, even though it's been sitting in there for a number of hours now. Oh, nice big fat bit of calamari there for you, mate.
You can't see my mouth watering, can you, on camera there? That's why the beard, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you,
Give
mate.
yourself a little try of that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Alan, that's fantastic.
But what I really like about it, it doesn't toughen the seafood.
Yeah.
Even calamari. I mean, I cooked calamari for years and years and years.
Yeah,
And it's like an old boot strap
It goes
half the
like
time.
old boot.
Yeah.
But the Shuttle Chef does that with everything, doesn't it? It just doesn't
It's so easy to do
overcook.
it.
Well, with the Shuttle Chef and a packet of that curry, you can have a restaurant quality meal
Yep.
anywhere. Now, how come there's no ice and beer in the...
I thought about that. But what we find for four-wheel drivers is that when you're travelling out to your destination, you can have your meal going on the road. It can be in there. It's not being knocked around at all. But when
that's
you
what
get
it
out
is.
there, it's ideal to use as your cooler bag when you need to.
Yes, yeah.